Hello and congratulations. Here you are on the third and final part of your structured literacy lesson plan. I'm so proud of you. In this part, we will focus on fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. Let's get started. Fluency is the ability to read with accuracy, speed, and expression. This component is going to look different in each grade level, depending upon your learners. Um, you will notice as a preschool teacher that your students aren't reading. You are just learning the letters and really spending a lot of time talking with your learners. This is oral language fluency, and this is so important because it's the basis for um, reading fluency. So your fluency activity for your preschool learners will look a little different than it will for a second grade learner. Keep this in mind. We want to make sure the activities that we provide are appropriate. Now, before you choose those activities, make sure that you choose an appropriate standard, objective, and assessment, and make sure that each of these support each other. So the standard that you choose should the standard that you choose is the basis, and then the objective supports that standard, and the assessment is some evidence that that objective is being met that supports the standard. So they all go together. Remember that. Now, the activities that you choose could be different based upon the grade level that you're writing your lesson plan for. We know that in this course, your lesson plan must be for a pre-K through second grade learner. So preschool learners might be practicing singing songs. Um, they might be singing a song about the letter that they're focused on, and this is perfectly appropriate. And having them sing that song more than one time is how they improve their fluency. You might have your second grade learners or first grade learners choral reading a poem, and this would help them with their fluency. You would model fluency for these students by reading it yourself, the I do. And then as a group, you could choral read the poem together for the we do. And then the you do could be maybe they have a partner and they read back and forth with each other. So keep in mind how this might look differently for the grade level that you're writing your lesson plan for. The next component that we'll focus on is vocabulary. Now, the vocabulary words that you choose are so important because this broadens the vocabulary of your students. And we know that our learners need to gain new vocabulary daily. So be careful about the words that you choose. Make sure that they have some connection to the text that's going to be read in the comprehension component. That way, you are preparing them for understanding the reading that they're going to have. So a child's vocabulary knowledge impacts their expressive and receptive language. Providing your students with the opportunity to speak, listen, read, and write new words is so important. So the vocabulary words that you choose can be defined by tiers. So tier one is just the basic words. These are basic everyday words that rarely require explicit instructions. So these are the words that I kind of want you to weed out and not include in your vocabulary instruction. Tier two words have been targeted, and I've asked you to choose two tier two words to include in your instruction, either in the word study section or written expression, spelling, or vocabulary. So choose those two tier two words, and you might include them in this vocabulary section. You were also asked to include two content specific words that are in the comprehension text. These words are kind of maybe words that aren't as frequent, but they are important for understanding. So those content specific words might be the words that you include here in this vocabulary section. Vocabulary activities will be explicit, So make sure that you are pronouncing the word, that you are giving a student-friendly definition, and then that you are doing some sort of work with this word. This could be written work. If you're in second grade and you have second graders, they might have their own vocabulary dictionary that they're writing the words down. But for younger grade learners, they might be talking to a partner about the word, or as a group, you might be asking them some questions and then giving them opportunities for 100% participation by a thumbs up, thumbs down, or by turning and talking to a partner. So include this instruction in this component. And don't forget, you must have a standard, an objective, and an assessment. All right, comprehension component. This component is extremely important, and you will need a standard, objective, and an assessment for this component as well. Comprehension focuses on helping students understand and interpret what is being read to them or what they have read themselves. So, for our youngest learners, the preschool learners, they're going to be really trying to understand what's being read to them and looking at a story and thinking about it. You will be preparing some intentional questioning for these students, and all students, and you'll include that within this comprehension component. Make sure that in your instruction, you write out the questions that you intend to ask your students so that you are pushing them to really think about what the reading says and understand what it's saying as well. Student oral language comprehension is the foundation for reading comprehension. Remember that. So your preschool learners, when they are telling you about the story, retelling the story, this is showing that they're understanding and comprehending what's happening. So your students might be having a conversation about the story. Your students might draw a picture to show their understanding and then tell about the picture. You might have students place pictures in order to retell the story and then have them retell the story. There's so many different options for you to provide activities for students to show that they are truly understanding what the reading is saying. So these three components are extremely important, just like all the others. And I hope you see that this structured literacy lesson plan has kind of started off with word study and how words are put together, and then has continued on to spelling and written expression, where we're learning about how to spell the sounds and then how to write. And then we are going on to our fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. Just keeps building with this understanding for helping to build skilled readers, which is what we all want. So work really hard on these three components. Look for the feedback from your instructors and do your best to make corrections. Remember, this is a program assessment. So in order to pass this assessment and this course, you must either meet expectations or approach expectations on every single indicator. If you do not, please make sure that you are making corrections or adjustments and then resubmitting your lesson plan so that you can meet the requirements. We want to help you. We're here to help you. Reach out to your instructor if you have questions and just do your best and have fun with this. So I can't wait to read these three components and to look at your instruction and cheer you on as you finish this great lesson plan for your learners.